Writing. The message was never supposed to leave his phone. It was meant to be a sleepy joke for a close friend after another exhausting day of balancing diapers, deadlines, and disappointment. But one cruel autocorrect later, everything changed. Instead of sending a harmless complaint, a single father accidentally sent a shockingly flirty message to the one person he could never afford to embarrass, his strict, elegant boss. He froze as the delivered notification appeared on his screen. His hands trembled. His heart sank. Then, barely 20 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Before we continue this unforgettable story, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who believes in kindness and second chances, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Legacy. Your support helps these heartfelt stories reach more people who need a little hope in their lives. Nathan Brooks had never imagined that life could become this complicated before he turned 35. 3 years earlier, he had buried his wife after a sudden illness that left him alone with their newborn daughter, Lily. While most people his age were planning vacations or chasing promotions, Nathan measured success differently. Success meant getting Lily dressed without tears. Success meant arriving at work on time after packing lunches, finding missing socks, and calming nightmares that still haunted his little girl. Every morning felt like running a marathon before the workday had even begun. Nathan worked as a project coordinator for a growing design company where perfection was expected and mistakes were remembered. His boss, Evelyn Carter, had earned a reputation for being demanding, distant, and impossible to impress. She rarely smiled during meetings and always seemed focused on results rather than excuses. Nathan respected her deeply, though he secretly feared every email bearing her name. Losing this job wasn't an option. Lily depended on him, and every paycheck kept their tiny apartment warm and their refrigerator full. Most evenings followed the same routine. Nathan rushed home, picked Lily up from daycare before closing time, made a simple dinner, read bedtime stories, cleaned the apartment, prepared work reports, and collapsed onto the couch long after midnight. His life revolved around responsibility. Romance had disappeared from his world the day he became both father and mother to his little girl. One rainy Tuesday, after finishing an especially stressful presentation, Nathan texted his best friend Marcus. He wanted to joke about how intimidating Evelyn seemed during meetings. He typed that if his boss ever smiled at him, he might mistake it for flirting and probably faint from the shock. Exhausted fingers moved too quickly while autocorrect silently rewrote several words. Without checking, Nathan pressed send. Seconds later, confusion spread across his face. His stomach twisted into a knot as he realized the conversation on his screen wasn't with Marcus. It was with Evelyn. The message now read like an embarrassingly bold confession, claiming that he couldn't stop thinking about her smile, that seeing her made his heart race, and that dinner together sounded irresistible. Nathan felt every drop of blood drain from his face. He apologized immediately, sending one explanation after another, but there was no reply. The silence was worse than anger. Every passing minute felt like another step toward unemployment. Then came the doorbell. Nathan opened the door expecting perhaps a neighbor or a delivery driver. Instead, Evelyn stood quietly beneath the hallway light, still wearing her office coat, rain glistening on her shoulders. Nathan couldn't even form a complete sentence. Embarrassment flooded every thought in his mind. But Evelyn wasn't angry. She looked tired. She noticed the scattered toys across the living room floor, the tiny shoes by the entrance, and Lily peeking shyly from behind her father's leg while holding a stuffed rabbit. Everything changed in that silent moment. Nathan invited Evelyn inside, convinced she had come personally to dismiss him. Instead, she accepted a cup of coffee and quietly listened as he explained the terrible mistake. Every sentence felt heavier than the last. He admitted that exhaustion had become his constant companion and that he barely remembered what uninterrupted sleep felt like anymore. Evelyn listened without interrupting. When Lily wandered into the room wearing mismatched pajamas and proudly offered Evelyn one of her crayons, something unexpected softened inside the woman everyone considered emotionally untouchable. Nathan apologized again, expecting criticism. Instead, Evelyn admitted that she had lost her own father at a young age and understood more about loneliness than anyone at work realized. She confessed that she often stayed late at the office not because she loved working, but because returning to an empty home reminded her of everything she had lost over the years. For the first time, they weren't boss and employee. They were simply two people carrying invisible burdens. The following week surprised everyone. Evelyn never mentioned the message again. Instead, she quietly adjusted Nathan's schedule so he could pick up Lily without rushing across town. She introduced flexible working hours for parents across the company, explaining that productivity mattered more than appearances. Other employees couldn't believe the sudden change, but Nathan knew compassion had quietly replaced assumptions. Little by little, trust grew between them. Sometimes Evelyn brought coloring books for Lily after meetings. Sometimes Nathan shared homemade cookies his daughter insisted on baking. The office slowly noticed that the once intimidating executive now smiled more often. Yet gossip spread quickly. People whispered that Nathan had earned special treatment. Others invented stories about secret relationships and favoritism. Nathan considered resigning just to stop the rumors, believing Evelyn deserved better than endless speculation because of his mistake. When Evelyn learned about his decision, she surprised him once again. She reminded the entire company during a staff meeting that kindness should never become something people apologize for. She spoke about unseen struggles, about single parents, grieving families, mental health, and the danger of judging lives no one truly understands. Her words filled the room with uncomfortable silence because everyone recognized themselves somewhere inside that speech. Nathan remained. Months passed. Lily's laughter slowly returned to their home. Nathan began sleeping better. His confidence returned. One Saturday afternoon, the company organized a family picnic for employees. Children played beneath bright blue skies while parents laughed together. Lily tugged on Evelyn's hand, asking if she would help fly a colorful kite. Watching them together, Nathan realized something remarkable. The accidental message that had nearly destroyed his career had actually opened a door neither of them knew they desperately needed. It wasn't romance that arrived first. It was understanding. And understanding became friendship. Friendship became healing. Healing gave both of them permission to believe happiness wasn't reserved only for people with perfect lives. Nearly a year after that unforgettable text message, Nathan received another notification on his phone. This time it wasn't embarrassing. It was a promotion. The recommendation came directly from Evelyn, who praised not only his professional skills but also his resilience, integrity, and unwavering commitment to both work and family. Nathan accepted with grateful tears filling his eyes. That evening, he walked home holding Lily's tiny hand while the sunset painted the sky in warm shades of gold. He finally understood that life's greatest turning points rarely arrive the way we expect. Sometimes they begin with heartbreak. Sometimes they begin with mistakes. And sometimes, unbelievably, they begin with a disastrous autocorrect. If this story has touched your heart so far, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Legacy. Your support allows stories like this to continue inspiring people around the world. Special request: before you leave, please comment below with one word that describes what kindness means to you. We'd love to read every heartfelt response. Nathan would always remember the night his biggest mistake echoed through the silence of his apartment with a simple ring of the doorbell. He had expected humiliation, rejection, and the end of everything he had worked so hard to build. Instead, he found compassion waiting on the other side of the door. Life has a remarkable way of hiding miracles inside moments that first look like disasters. The words we send cannot always be taken back, but kindness has the extraordinary power to rewrite endings that fear believes are already finished. And sometimes, the greatest gift isn't avoiding mistakes. It's discovering the people who choose to understand us despite them.